I've understood that you are a panelist in United Nations Organization for Save Water. What actually was the discussion all about?
Okay, so last year I had this opportunity to be a speaker at the United Nations Water Conference, which was happening in New York. So the topic was on blue economy. So how I wanted to share like in our own project of saving Meedikunta Lake as part of this conversation, because right now, blue economy is more to do with how economies depend upon on the resources that comes from seas and oceans and water bodies. So this is something where I felt like how reviving this particular lake in Hyderabad by these children, even though it is not a coastal region, being a Deccan Plateau region, how we were able to help people build their lives. There are fishermen who depend on this, there are cattle raisers who depend on this lake, right? So they're also contributing to back to the blue economy. So this was something that I actually spoke at the United Nations Water Conference in March 2023. So they were surprised. They were saying, I understand, people working towards it, but children working towards it, how is it even possible? So that's how they sent a small team to check on the authenticity of it. And they were super surprised, and then they were impressed also. And gave a small donation for our children, who put in all their hard work in trying to revive this entire lake. So lake revival, Aned, as a teacher, we will not know, right? So I had to do a lot of research in trying to understand and all of that. So from that learning is what I taught my children. So it is like euphoria. It just doesn't stop in one place. It just spreads and all of it.
How do you balance all these things? You are a mom, you are a wife, you have two kids, and you have to take care of your school and you do your research. For me, I don't see even a minute in your day which is left out. How do you balance all these things?
Only one simple mantra: collaboration. So I try and collaborate with people in my house, with the family, and I tell them this is something that I'm doing, and I want all of you to join hands with me. On there are certain expectations as a wife, right? So I tell them I will be only able to fulfill so much. The rest, I don't think I will be able to. So I voice it out, and then there are certain expectations as a mother that I want my mom to be there the minute I come back from school and all of that. But I would give my children a task saying that, until mom comes back, these are the things that can you finish them? So that when I come back, we will have these conversations and then we will be doing all these things together. So, and then similarly, when it comes to my work, so I try to empower as many people as possible in any areas that I learn from, and tell them okay, this is what is expected out of you for this particular project, so that they all come and join hands. So it is not one person. I mean, they recognized me as a person who's got who started off initially, but the credit goes to all these people who collaborated with me in my personal, professional, and societal journey that I actually have.
Okay, that is, you believe in collaboration, cooperation, and delegation, looks like. And I would like to know more on the Global Teacher Prize and what is eligibility criteria and what is that one factor you were standing out to say that I can be nominated for this prize?
Okay, so it's a very good question. Like you mentioned priorly that, this Global Teacher Prize is like an Oscar for the actors. It is like a Olympic medal for a sports person. So it is not just the end goal, but the journey is what matters, right? So if we see any of these actors who must have received that particular recognition, or any of the sports people who received that particular, medal, it did not happen in a day. They must have put in so many years of hard work, so many years of dedication towards it to be able to achieve there. So if I say that if teachers have, they should have that, goal to reach Global Teacher Prize and that will win that $1 million, they have to put in certain efforts. So the first one is okay, how well are your children learning your subject, one? And how well did you help these children to excel? It is not about taking the best child and say that, okay, he excelled in this. how well you were able to see that difference in the child who struggles to learn as well, right? Then comes, okay, what else did you do beyond your classroom? So it could be anything. See, I have done a lot of things which I feel passionate about. It doesn't have to be the same for every teacher. Like, for somebody, it is girl child education could be their, passionate thing that they want to do. For other teacher, it is a STEM education that they want to contribute towards, that they can go out of their way and contribute towards STEM education or STEAM education. For somebody, art is their passion. So and for somebody, social service, for somebody like me, social service is a passion, right? So these are certain areas that you can choose. What are you as a teacher? What makes you, where do you feel that, you can give back to the society? So this is where they can see themselves. And also not as just the teacher for my students, I also am a counselor for students across other schools, where I help them place them into good universities across the world. So I counsel them, I create their portfolios, and I guide them into these journeys of placing them into amazing universities across the world. So it is not just like, oh, I'm just a kindergarten teacher, I will only be able to teach alphabet, I will only be able to teach numbers. Not necessary. I'm also a kindergarten teacher. I started my journey as a kindergarten teacher. I still today love myself, calling myself a kindergarten teacher. But how am I implementing certain things which are making a difference in children's life, which are making difference in the society around you, matters a lot in Global Teacher Prize, right? So they also have external audits which they will do to check on the authenticity of your work. So whenever you're doing any work, don't shy away, talk about it, get it published, so that they have an authenticity of this work is being done, right? So these are certain steps which are very important if someone is aiming for Global Teacher Prize.
That's really wonderful. I want to keep on listening when you're saying, because teaching is something where there is no boundary. Anything else there can be a boundary, but for teaching, I feel that you can bring in any element into the school and you can teach them during that period and create many more awardees from India, or many more nominees. First, we aim for many more nominations, because like way back, way back, we used to feel that Miss Universe and Miss India or Miss World are not our cup of things, right? We never focused on those, but now we are able to understand that there is a system for everything. Everything need to be very systemic. What one advice you would give to teachers who registered themselves at Teach Connect, my website?
I would say, first of all, I should congratulate all those teachers who registered themselves with Teach Connect, because this is your initial steps for glory. The way you are bringing passionate stories to motivate teachers from every area is amazing, so that they understand how do they go about, so that now they have a direction that they can actually follow, and and have that. It is not for anybody else but for yourself, for your own satisfaction, right? So my motivating factor is I don't want any of these children to grow up and question me when I'm old. When you had an opportunity to do certain things, change certain things, what did you do? I have so many stories to say that I've done this, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. So I did my bit. It was not my problem that still the world has problems, right? So they are yours now to solve.
Wonderful.
I had my energy when I'm in my prime time, I was able to do all of this. So these are the stories that I would want to share it with the next generations coming up to me, right? So I would say every teacher deserves that kind of stories about themselves to be able to share it with next generations. So I feel, all the teachers should take up this opportunity of how showcase your best version to the world, and see the euphoria that you create, see the amount of happiness that you create for yourself. And nobody has to recognize you. Every day you feel getting up saying this is an amazing day, and I have one more opportunity to make the world a better place, right?
So we don't wake up to impress someone, isn't it?
Yeah, we wake up to impress ourselves. Sometimes a lot of things happen in my brain. And for me to meditate is the biggest problem. I can't meditate because, a lot of creative ideas keep flowing into my thoughts whenever I sit to meditate. But then this year I did a course of Sri Shri's course in learning Sudarshana Kriya. And the amount of calmness that I experienced is amazing. So, I mean, at times I would even wake up from my bed thinking that, oh, I should be doing this particular thing with my students today. That's my, and I wouldn't feel sleep deprived or things like that. So that's the main source of energy. And I should feel every teacher has to tap into that main source of energy and say that what wakes me or what inspires me to get up in the morning. How should I look at life? It's so full of energy, so full of beautiful things. Yes, we will have problems. With every project, I face a problem. But all those problems made me a better person, a stronger person, a person with more grit. And the way it's shaping me, I'm just loving the journey. And trust me, you should all experience that, and you should all feel that the happiness out of this entire journey. Your children will not learn from your words, but from your actions. I strongly believe that it could be our own biological children, or it could be the children that we go and teach.
Yeah.
So it is how the example that you set will create that journey for the child there. So I wish them all the best. You are amazing. And remember, you are handling the most important resource in this entire world, which is next generations.
Yes.
So they are in your hands to mold them. They are in your hands to shape them into beautiful human beings. So we are like next to God. God gave them the shape. We are giving them the
life,
intellectual capabilities, capacities for them to become better human beings.
It's really been wonderful talking to you, Meghna ji. It's an amazing thing that you are motivating yourself and creating an impact on your life as well as the lives around you. Thank you so much interviewing you. I feel it's an honor to ask this question and get the answers from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.